Welcome to the sixth episode of the BB&J show. I am Jay, and that lovely, handsome, debonair man to my whatever side that is, because I'm mirror flipped, is BB. Say hello, BB.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
There you go. We got three words out of him. Are you ready
Yeah.
for this week's episode, BB? I am pumped up. I am fired up. Are you ready?
Yes, I am super excited for this because we got some cool stuff we're gonna talk about, and one of them is awesome. The other one is what we would call Jay on a rant. So I can't wait.
Yeah, this episode may contain a rant. This is very true. We were talking about the things we were going to go over, and I already started lobbing some grenades as we were getting ready to go live. So strap in. It's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be a fun ride, hopefully. I know I'm excited for it. I believe BB's excited for it. So speaking of excitement, BB, for Harry Potter fans this week, as a matter of fact, I believe it was just yesterday, as of this recording, Thursday this week, some very interesting and exciting news popped up about a game we discussed, I think, in our first or second episode about delays and whatnot.
Yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy. So take us through some of what happened on Thursday.
WB Games announced, well, not announced, but more like showed us the brand new trailer, right? And when I heard about this, I was thinking it was going to be, a teaser trailer or something like that, something to show us more
Right.
than what we got,
Yeah.
more than the title, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of game developers do that, where they're like, oh, here you go, Hogwarts Legacy, and then it's just the title, and it's like coming, like in 2022 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking we were gonna get that, right?
Mm.
But oh my gosh, the fact that we got more, I think it was over 14 minutes of literally what I think the whole game. Because you got to see customization, all right? Started off with customization, what you can do, you picking your house. All the way to like combat, exploration, which I think is going to be a key thing here, is going to be the fact that you can literally just explore Hogwarts. Like
Right.
just go, like you're exploring the whole school. Who doesn't want to do that? Like I think once I get my hands on this game, I will probably be at that school like for a minute.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
just wandering the halls, like going to the different houses and checking like what people are doing. I'm really excited for this game.
Yeah.
The way they showed it in this trailer, honestly, it looked good, and I feel like this is how you show off your game.
Yeah.
Because it's not a little like pre-written area or whatever, or like I was saying in the beginning, it was like just a teaser or whatever. Like they literally explained, this is what you do, this leads to this, you can do this, you can do that, you can even go out here. Like
Yeah.
it was so cool, like the way they were like setting everything up. And honestly, it looked like the team behind it, like they put a lot of time and effort into this.
Yeah.
And this is how you kind of like show, hey, I know we've delayed the game, but look at what we got.
Yeah.
This is why we delayed it, not like other games that don't show anything till like a month or two, and then it's not even close to what they showed you when it releases.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was so hyped, dude. I was so hyped after watching that, honestly.
So I'll take real quick. I try to be quick as I can. So I never saw the Harry Potter movies. I never read the books until last year. Like when I knew when they were coming out, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were either Emma Watson or maybe all three of them. I know was born in either a year after me or the same year as me. So I was about the age when those movies were coming out. Like as I was,
Okay,
I could have grown up with them had I gotten on the train, but I never did. But I saw them last year for the first time. I saw them basically one a week until I saw the whole series.
No, okay, the whole thing.
Yeah, I love the series. I really do. Now, I'm not a fanatic. It's the same with Lord of the Rings. I really enjoy the movies, but I won't, like, send a death threat if one person says something about somebody in Harry Potter or something, okay? Anyway, that point being, so when the Harry Potter's Hogwarts Legacy was announced, I think it was last year sometime, like in the
Yeah, it was somewhere like early last year or
yeah,
so.
right. It was
Kind of
probably
around the
right either as I was watching the movies or right after. I got
same.
really excited. I was like, "Oh shit, this game looks good," and it did look good. I was kind of like, "Okay, I don't know how," because I think it's supposed to take place in the 1800s or something like that. It's supposed to be hundreds
Yeah,
of
it's like way. Yeah, what they said is like I guess to kind of craft your own because they wanna. They really emphasize about it being about you,
yeah,
right? Like your wizard and or witch, right?
yeah,
And so yeah, it does take place like way before Harry Potter. So you technically won't meet like at least the main people, right, of
yeah,
Harry Potter.
yeah,
You'll meet maybe familiar faces, as in I guess maybe some of the either creatures or some of the like maybe it looked like they were like apparitions and stuff like ghosts and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of back or 1800s. What you were
Yeah.
saying, yeah.
So it kind of made me like, not necessarily that I wanted it to be at the time of the Harry Potter universe,
Mhm.
but sort of the technology would be a little bit different in it. So I kind of was
Yeah,
like, maybe a little thrown off by that. But because it's like you said, they emphasize that it's your story in the Harry Potter
yeah,
universe. It's what I always want games to do and advocate games to do. So I'm like, I'm in, I'm sold. Even if I'm not 100% sold on the time setting, I'm sold on everything
yeah.
else. So I was like, this is cool. And then, it got delayed, and I was like, oh, well, it just happens. And the trailer and I haven't seen the 14-minute thing that came out on Thursday, but I'm really excited. But I also am kind of, I don't want to say worried, but I have a cautious optimism because it makes
Hmm.
me think if this much of the game was in a build to be able to show off, what was the
Hmm.
delay about? What went sideways? What's not done? What it needs to be polished to
Yeah,
uh, you know, get over the edge to be released? And
yeah,
is the time that we have enough? I hope it does come out okay. And I will say the one thing that I kind of was like, it would have been a little bit better if they had this was no multiplayer, no ability to.
no, it is. Wait, you want it or you
Yeah,
don't want it?
yeah, yeah. I do. I was told it was several people who saw it were like, no, it's no multiplayer.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
So
understand
it
that.
would
Yeah,
have
yeah.
been nice to have the
Of course,
ability to
yeah.
sort of, because if it is about you, it could also be about you and your friends, like the
Yeah.
Harry Potter movies were, right? They were about the friends and
Of
the
course, yeah.
friend group and all of that. So it would have been fun to at least if you have a co-op, or if they didn't want to do that, it would have been kind of fun during the exploration things to do a sort of from software esque sort of thing where people can invade your game and sort of
Mm,
maybe do a little PvP that way, or maybe even jump in to help or something like that. So the
okay.
fact that they don't even allow that in any way, shape, or form is a little disappointing. I won't lie, but
Hmm.
overall, I'm really excited for this game. Cautiously optimistic because they showed off so much, but yet they still need some time. So I'm kind of worried that maybe something is really buggy, or something just
Yeah.
something's not done, and they may have to like crunch it, and it may come out a little like it may be one of those games that it's really good in all these areas, and then one area feels kind of flat and weird, and then you go and you look, and it's like this was the area that wasn't done, and they rushed it and
Yeah.
crunched it, and they're like, that's why this looked
That's
like
why I
the
was
way
so
it
late.
did,
Yeah.
or yeah. So cautiously optimistic, but I'm gonna get it. I know I'm gonna dive into that
Oh yeah.
game head first. I'm gonna love that game. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure.
same,
You know.
same. I really like. I'm pretty pretty optimistic as well, but cautiously, like you said, because you know because of all the history we've had with recent games, in the last like what 5 years or so, right?
Mm-hmm.
um them getting pushed back, and then they launch and patches need to be done and everything, right? So I am cautiously optimistic, but there's a few things that I do have questions for, and maybe it'll get answered in the months to come before it
Right.
releases, which they did say it was holiday, so they didn't give an actual date, but we all know around the time they're looking for, right? Like around the Christmas time and probably or Thanksgiving. Um, but I have a few questions on it when it comes to like I don't know. There's certain parts where I did feel like it was a little bit bland. Now I know that they showed a lot, right? They
Yeah.
showed a ton of stuff you could do, and I'm really hoping that all of that stuff like evolves throughout the game, because you could even say that it has kind of like that. It is. I mean, they did say it's an action RPG, right?
Yeah.
So the whole companion system seemed very interesting. It reminded me of like Mass Effect. If you can, you know, develop your friendships and maybe take them on quests or do quest lines for them or something, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff that I was kind of like iffy a little bit was like the combat system, the way it would work.
Mm.
Just because I don't want to be like tapping a button continuously, you know?
Yeah.
But like if if they show us something where it's like, okay, well you need to do like press this combination of buttons or maybe switch, right?
Mm.
I just want to see like a little bit more into detail of the combat, because they only explained what you can do, not necessarily how it's done,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, because it looks amazing, it looked like the way you could just use your wand and like you were like throwing people around and casting fire, and it was just awesome to
Yeah.
see it. So I'm really stoked for that, but like I just don't want it to be like, oh, you just keep pressing mashing like X or square, whatever the button is, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so I'm really interested in to see how they go over that. But yeah, I'm also excited, yo. Like after I saw it, I was so amazed. I had to tell you. I was like,
Mhm.
after I saw it, I was like, Jay, did you see this?
Yeah. It was. I'm
Oh
really
man.
excited. I am a Harry Potter fan, as I said, and I think this is going to do really good fan service. I mean, as you said, you get to explore Hogwarts. It's an
Yes.
iconic location within the movies and the books, and you get to explore it, and the companions and everything. So you're making a story. You are taking place a Harry Potter story. You are living out the Harry Potter fantasy, if you will. So I think it's going to be a lot of fan
Correct.
service. I don't want to just mash X over again, but I will.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
will say, if everything else is up to snuff, then there's not that many bugs. There's whatever
Mhm.
comes normal with these types of games and everything, and it's got a good story and it's fun and all that stuff. I will live with just pushing X. I will live with it. Now,
Of
if
course.
it's
Yeah.
if it's everything else is kind of wonky and all this other shit and all of that, then there'll be a different story. But I'm excited for it. I'm hoping, for good news. I'm hoping it has the same sort of release and hype and
Mhm.
positivity around it as this next game we're about to touch on just briefly, Elden Ring, because Elden Ring,
Yes.
we're just passing. We just saw this and just want to give the game its props, even though it's aimless wandering. Um, you
Oh
you
my god.
you found this.
Oh
Uh,
my gosh. Why, Jay? Why?
I
Why do you
mean,
have to do this?
because it's
Okay.
just part of who I am.
Elden Ring. No, look. Okay. Even though you shit on this game for whatever reason, Elden Ring has finally surpassed 12 million copies, and I want to give a huge congrats to From Software for that, because that's awesome. Like I'm telling you, people love this game. I am still playing it. I am now probably like 50 or so hours in. I cannot put it down. Well, actually, I have to put it down because I'm just like, you know what? I need to take a break. All right, I've called it. I had to take a break, but it's not because I can't take it. It's just because I just want to keep enjoying it, and it has its time where I'll get lost in it, right? But it looks like that game, Elden Ring, has, I think it's their number one seller, because the last time I checked, it was Dark Souls 3 with over 10 million copies. So this is their. I mean, they have hits, but this is their current and latest hit.
Well, I will say, 12 million people love to go aimlessly wandering, and good for them. Uh, congrats on From Software to have a new top dog in their library. Copy pasting the same formula over and over again
Oh
seems to work.
God.
So, congrats to you guys. To the 12 million of you out there that bought it and continuously wander aimlessly to smash your face into the wall. That's whatever. Look, I am a non-king shaming person. Whatever you find joy in, so long as you're not hurting other people and there's consenting adults involved, fine. Whatever, it's fine. It is what it is, as they say.
Every time you just go ham on Elden Ring, I'm just gonna smile. I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna smile and just be like, all right, let's move on.
Speaking of,
Oh my
speaking
gosh.
of, let's talk about one of the games that we're here to talk about, and it seems to be a topic of discussion a lot around here, and it's just because we're fans. Okay, I am
Yeah.
I am a huge fan, and I will not have anybody tell me otherwise. However, I seem to be more of a fan than 343 Industries. Okay, because of the stuff they decided to do. They just released. First of all, I'm not calling it a roadmap. Okay, it's not a roadmap. They released a few paragraphs separated by numbers 1, 2, and 3. Whoa, look at what we did. No, it's not a roadmap. Okay, I'm gonna let BB take us through it a little bit, give us the bullet points because that's about all they gave us, and
Pretty much.
and I will we will continue. So BB, tell us the crumbs, the breadcrumbs that 343 has kindly brushed off its plate into our laps.
Okay, so I will start this off with, you know, when you get a bag of chips, right? A huge bag of chips or whatever it may, popcorn or whatever, right? A huge bag, and you're just like, oh, I can't wait to eat these chips, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you open it, and like half the bag is gone because
Yeah.
the rest was air.
Yep.
This is literally what we got this time around from the update.
It's what we've been getting.
Introducing, well, yeah, true, what we've been getting, yeah, but I was, because I think the thing with this one, it hit more because it was like everyone was just expecting season 2 to be where 343 turns the table, right? Or turntables, as Michael Scott would say. Because this season is called season 2 Lone Wolves.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's because nobody's
Yes.
playing this game. There's like 12 people left playing, so they're the lone wolves. That the season was named after you. Bravo to the 5 people that stuck with the game. Bravo, you got a season named after you.
Dang. It's an Easter egg.
There you go. That's the Easter egg
In the title.
Yeah.
And in the title of the season. Oh my gosh.
to the 6 players
So
that are
yes,
still playing.
season 2 Lone Wolves for the remaining players out there for Halo Infinite multiplayer. It really just says, hey, hello, we are 343, and we just want to let you know that we still are trying to, update the game, and everything we had said we were going to do is going to take more time. That's pretty much it. Like, I mean, I could go more into detail, which I will, but that's pretty much it, because season 2 was what everyone was waiting for, co-op.
Mm-hmm.
And 4. Everyone is waiting for those things. Why? Because that is Halo. Literally. Co-op and Forge is Halo. And it just pretty much goes over that season 2 will not make it, or co-op will not make it into season 2 as well as Forge. They need more time. They were looking into a May release for co-op, and looks like they just didn't meet the deadline, and they're going to spend more time in it because they want to offer that traditional co-op split screen experience and online. I mean, they want to offer that, but I don't understand why they didn't offer that.
Pick me. I got the answer for this one. Pick
Jay,
me. Yes,
Jay,
I know
why do
why.
you think?
Because they tried to be smarter than everybody and reinvent the wheel. The Halo formula worked, but they said, no, let's be the smartest kids in the room. You know what? They started smelling their own fart. They got high off their own product. That's what they started doing. And they were like, let's be better than Bungie. And all of these people that try to do live service. This isn't live service technically, but let's have a game that's going to go on for infinite whatever. Okay, no. Stop it. Okay, if you had just came out with a tradition. Look at From Software. They copy paste the same game like 19 times, and they keep selling more copies. For once, follow them. Follow them. Okay, you copy paste a campaign. You could have made plot twist or whatever. You could have done better, but no. You want there to be all cutesy and let's have open world because that's what everybody's doing. Let's go follow what everybody else is doing. Halo isn't everybody else. Halo is a first-person shooter that has 10 to 12, and sometimes I think it's like 14 in Halo 2 campaign missions. You tell a story, you tell an engrossing story because Halo has a lot of lore for a first-person shooter, and you move on, you give some good multiplayer, and you give some good forge, and that's it. It works. It works for so many games it's worked. Even ODST, which is like an expansion that's like 15 minutes long, is better. Is better than this. Like, come on. What is wrong with you? Where have you... Go on. Can I just say I'm annoyed that they start this off with, "Hey everyone, we're here to answer 2 questions that we know are top of the mind for Halo community. What's the Infinite team working on right now? And when can we expect new content and features?" No, wrong. I don't give a shit what you're working on. Tell me when co-op is coming out. That's what I care about. I don't care what you're working on. I don't care that you're making flowers in this one map. You're making nice little flowers in the corner of this one map that nobody's going to care about. I don't care if you're working on that. Tell me when I can expect co-op. That's what I want to know. Go on, BB.
Well, Jay, the answer to that is not in season 2. That's when you can not expect.
I could not expect a lot from 343, and I not expect a lot from them, and they never let me down when I don't expect anything from them.
Just when you thought they were like, "Oh, 343 got it," and then they finally review everything, it's like, damn it, never mind. Also coming into season 2 is Armor Core, so you can go and buy. There's a new Armor Core, I guess, that they're releasing. It's pretty much the style of armor that you choose or base, and that just means that you can go ahead and finally go and buy that's the same color you were wearing in your other armor on this new one, because that's how Halo works in 2022. So moving on from that, we are getting maps. We're getting maps, Jay. Can you finally believe it?
You see, they gave you 2 maps, so you can say maps, plural. But it ain't really maps. You're getting map, pause, map, number 2. That's it. You're just getting 2 maps. You're only getting 2 armor cores. What is the rule of 2? And can I ask a question about this color armor scheme? Can you still not put any color on any armor? Is that still a thing? Like, can you? Is that still the problem? That's because we know Fletman, who's he's probably one of the 6 people that got Lone Wolf named after him. He's probably still plays, still holding out hope. Even he was talking about that he'll unlock something. He'll grind for I don't know however long he grinds and plays, and he'll unlock a color, but it's not for the right armor core, so he can't put it on.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing? Like, can you not customize?
Oh yeah. What? That's their new style. What do you mean?
I hate that a 20-year-old game on the original Xbox had this better.
Oh yeah.
Than 343, because when you were playing on Xbox as the Master Chief on multiplayer, you could pick any color and that was it. You moved on. Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is this a struggle? Like, this is what makes me mad. This is what grinds my gears. Why are we tripping up over the simple things? This should be a layup. Let people mix and match their armor. Let people put on different helmets with different chest pieces. Let people build their own unique Spartan and color it whatever color they want. Why can't you? Why can't you let them do that? Why are you stumbling over the easy stuff? Because if you're screwing up the easy stuff, God only knows how badly you're fucking up the hard stuff. I can't imagine how I want to play co-op because I've decided I'm not going to play the story until I play co-op, but I am dreading how my blood pressure is going to react to the story. I can only imagine, because this is the basic stuff. Like, this is one level above, does the gun fire out the right end? It's easy. It's simple. It shouldn't be this hard. They make it harder than it needs to be. Go on. I apologize.
You're right. They do. No, you go. I mean, you're speaking for me as well, so that's totally fine. No, I totally agree with you. It's pretty interesting actually. If you think about it, it's actually interesting to think about the new setup that they've done because, like you said, you got 20 years of Halo, and it's like, dang, what happened? Like that's literally how you feel when you play Infinite. When you go through the store and everything, you're just kind of like, wow, what happened to this? Like, I understand it's the free to play setup that they have and all, but I'm just kind of like, your games had it. You already like had a base, like why not just follow it? Reach. I still go back and I still remember playing Reach multiplayer and just be literally what they tell you can do here, right? They told you this before the game launched.
Yeah.
All right. They made a huge, because you know how they had like these huge events and they were talking about like the development of Halo and they got everyone hyped, right? Which it worked.
Yeah.
Everyone was super hyped when beta came out. Well, I forget, it's still in beta, but anyways,
it is a beta, yeah.
That's another story. But they literally told you in those events, you can be the Spartan you want to be. You're gonna be able to customize the Spartan the way that you want to. Everyone gets a chance to have a freedom of customization, right? And in my head, when I hear that, I think Halo in general, but I always think back at Halo Reach, because Halo Reach had some of the best customization options where you could just literally put whatever armor on you wanted, or change your the shoulders, the head, the helmet, the chest, like everything. Here it's locked behind an armor core. On top of that, you can't even use the same color. Like, here I go now freaking ranting like shit.
Because it's infuriating. It's because this isn't one, like, okay, I heard rumors that the NFL, right, when it came to Madden, and I'm not gonna sit here and stick up for Madden or EA, but in some respects, from what I understand, from my limited understanding, it's not all their fault. They do a lot of they commit a lot of sins, but some of it is not all their fault. But what I understand is the NFL, unlike 2K, which you can create any team, the NFL put a mandate on Madden that you cannot allow players to do that because they know that players would create college teams and other league teams like the CFL and everything, and they do not want any video or footage representation of college teams beating NFL teams because they believe it hurts the brand. Okay. Ridiculous, but okay, if that's the NFL's mandate. Whatever. I think they're wrong, but whatever. Please, I need somebody to explain to me in small terms, use crayons, explain it to me like I'm 5. Why can't I mix and match my armor set? Why can't I wear, like, I unlocked the samurai whatever the hell from doing an event. Yeah. Why can't I put on maybe the samurai top with a different set of legs and a different helmet? And, like,
what do you mean why, Jay? It's an armor core.
You want to see my armor core? Yeah, I'd show you my armor core, but we get canceled.
Oh my god!
I don't want to. I don't want to hear it. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Okay, I can't change the color of that armor core. It's like it's just everybody ends up looking the same at some point. Like you take a game that's like Sea of Thieves, right? Which I've been playing a little bit recently, and I love Sea of Thieves. It's not the best game out there, but like the character creation is very simplistic, and the characters kind of.
But it's super fun though.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
Being picking your the way that you want to look. It's so cool.
It is,
like you said, it's simple, but it's so cool at the same time.
Right, and they made it so we were talking and somebody said that they made it so that way the faces are structured in a way that no two faces will look the same. 343. Hi, how you doing? How you doing? How's it going? I understand you can't do all of that because everybody's like there's a set of helmets, but let people pick. Let people customize for themselves. Let people stop free the colors. Free the colors. Let us all pick. If somebody wants to walk around with pink and fuchsia, purple, and all, you mean to tell me? Hold on. You mean to tell me somebody could walk around with cat ears on? With cat ears, okay, cat ears, right? Somebody could walk around with fucking cat ears, but they can't change their colors or they can't mix and match armor. It is table flipping how rage inducing it is, because it is so simple. It is so ridiculous. There's no reason to subtract. Stop taking away things. Why? I want someone to explain to me why. I need to know why they took this away, why they took away customization. And it's not even like it's locked behind a paywall where if you have the battle pass, then you have some super special thing that lets you, mix and match. Then I'd be like, all right, you're just scummy, you're just a scummy, whatever, fine. No, you can't even do that because Flatman has a battle pass and he's limited to the stuff he can do. So you mean to tell me that I'm going to pay every season for the battle pass, I'm going to pay full price for the single player, and I'm still not going to be able to customize the way that I want? 343, kiss my armor core. Okay?
Oh. Well,
tell us about the maps. Tell us about the wonderful maps that we're getting.
We're getting some awesome, cool maps. Okay, got to make sure I emphasize maps.
Yeah.
So everyone gets excited. We are getting a big team battle map, all right? Called Breaker, and also a arena map called Catalyst. And that is all the maps we're getting.
Okay, first of all,
for season 2,
Breaker for Big Team Battle is a very appropriate name because Big Team Battle is often broken. So that's very appropriate. And I will just tell you, it from the concept art on the waypoint, it just looks like, God, what's that one map that's got the, I can't even tell. It's got the big AA cannon that we always have to do those strongholds in, where it's like there's the trenches. God, it's at nighttime.
I know we took, yeah.
It's got no fusion cores. Whatever that map is called. If you,
yeah, I know.
For the 9 people that are still playing, you know the map I'm talking about. This just looks like a light, like a desert version of that. Really, honestly, that's kind of what I'm seeing here. And Catalyst, it reminds me of a Halo 3 map, actually.
One of like the MLG maps, right?
Yeah. Which, I mean, look, it wasn't bad, but nothing here is blowing my socks off here. You giving me, this is bare bones. This is honestly bare bones. And let me explain. This is why this was supposed to be their big moment. This was supposed to be the moment that 343 goes, okay, we're done with the beta. Here's the full game. Here you go. Have the rest of the game that you bought 6 months ago. Here you go. Have that. Instead, they're giving us vague dates like it'll be sometime in season 3, won't be season 2, and we're not even starting season 2, so who knows how long season 2 goes, because I don't know, what is it, like it's been 6 months. Is it supposed to be every 6 months per season? So,
I believe so, yeah. I believe
so. We're a minimum of 6 months away. Could be sometime within season 3, so that could be 6, 7, 8, 9. We're talking possibly next year.
Pretty much next year. Yeah.
At this point. How fucked did they get this? How badly have they screwed the pooch here? They have shit the bed massively. I'm sorry to say,
oh, God.
they just they got drunk. They had Taco Bell. They came home and they just you got to throw the whole bed out. It's one of those levels of shit the bed. It is throw the whole bed out. You might even need to move. Like that, the room may not be salvageable at that point. That's how bad 343 has crapped the bed right now. Because they pushed the game back a whole year. Then it wasn't even ready to be released fully. And then 6 months later, so now we're talking 18 months later from when it should have released, it's still not fully released. And you're talking possibly 2 years after it was supposed to be released that it might possibly be completed.
Yeah.
No, you got this is a.
Well, remember, this is their 10-year plan. Okay. They're ahead of schedule if you think about it.
They're ahead of schedule on going bankrupt. Yeah. There's gonna be 6 people playing this game when it finally is completed, because this player base,
the same 6 people that are currently playing.
I can't. This level of they dropped the ball. I had faith in 343 up until, and again, it's one of these things where the more you think about it, at least for me, the more I think about it and the more I realize, the more infuriated I become. Like the more,
I totally understand. Yeah.
The more I like a vein pops in my neck, the more I start thinking about it and like really like doing an analysis on, wait, this is how they actually did it. So I can't. I don't know where you go from here. I honestly don't know where you go from here. Like, I'm gonna wait to do co-op, but I don't care anymore. Like I've lost. There are times where like I'll see people playing Halo in my Discord. I don't join. I don't care. I stopped caring. They've lost me as a player. Like I don't care to do the same 4 maps, the same 4 game modes. It doesn't entertain me. Like it's I'm done. I don't even know where to go. I honestly hope this is the last Halo. Like, I honestly hope this is the last Halo. 343 needs to stop. Somebody needs to come by to their computer and like turn the computer off and just tell you're done. You've shit this bed so much that we've had to move. You're done.
Look, the way I see it is they have that 10-year plan, right? They want this Halo to last that long. The way I see it at this point is that they have 10 years to turn it around. So
no, I don't. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't think it. I know that's like facetious, but I don't think they do have 10 years, because like they've lost so many players, they've fed up so many people.
That's true.
They had 10 months. Like if co-op and Forge don't release in the next 10 months, you're talking like I just don't know. Like I said, I don't know where you go from here. I really sincerely hope this isn't Halo Infinite, but Halo Finale, because it's like 343 can't be trusted with this property anymore. Like it's sad. It frustrates me and it makes me sad, because this is Halo, the property, the IP deserve better than this. It deserved better than to be dripped and drabbed and, given the crap that it's been given. Like, it's just really just sad at the end of the day.
I always try to be positive. I always try to be positive in many things, but the thing is, like with this one, it kind of sucks because like we love Halo, and obviously a lot of people do. There's a lot of people who love it, like so much that they continue to play this game. And I won't lie, every now and then I'll probably hop in and play with friends. And it can be fun when you play with your friends, but then you start to slowly like, okay, I all right, see you later, because it's just the same thing over and over. It's just a lack of content in the game. It just sucks so much that there's no content in a game that is like has so much content. You know what I mean? Like they have so much of Halo, but it's like almost none of it is here. And I hate that, because I was really excited for this game. As just like other people were.
Yeah.
They were so excited for this game because they're like, yes, Halo is finally continuing. They're trying to make it bigger. They're trying to be more ambitious. Okay, 343, let's go. Like supporting 343, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like after like once they delayed that whole year, I still was on board with it.
Yes.
Because I was like, take a whole year. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Not 3 months like a lot of these gaming companies do. Battlefield, right?
Yeah.
Take 3 months. Oh, we delayed it 3 months. No, they said from the start, we're gonna delay it a whole year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't even provide a release date.
Yeah.
Right? They were just like holiday, 2021 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I was starting to believe, and then when they started doing the events of like, this is what's going to be in here, and they started showing snippets of it, right? I was like, dang, this is why they took a whole year off, right? But now, after seeing the game release and the lack of content for season 1, right? And how they've lost their player base. It makes me wonder. I mean, I've always wondered it, but it makes me wonder it a lot, even more now. Like, what was this game back before they even
Oof.
decided decided to push it back, right?
Mm.
Because I just don't like, it makes me feel like what we're seeing right now, this should have been this should have been the reason they delayed it the first time.
Right.
Seeing how this game is.
Right.
I feel like this right here is the canvas of them being like, "Oh shit, yeah, we don't really have enough content. Let's delay a whole year. Like, let's delay a whole year and work on this." This is what I thought was being worked on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not that they were working on it and then they cut it.
Yeah.
And then they decided to just release it. And the way I love when you say
a la carte.
A la carte, exactly.
Yeah.
That's literally how the game is being brought out. So it's kind of sad in a way. Like, yeah, I do understand when you say you get frustrated because it's a franchise that you love. It's a series that you love, and it sucks that you want more, but they're not really. I mean, I get it. Yeah, I'm sure they're hard at work, and it's not necessarily like, the people trying to take this, bring this out or
Right,
anything. But
right.
I just kind of like, at this point, like, I would have just preferred them to just delay the game again.
Yeah.
Don't say you're gonna bring out a game and then nothing's there,
Yeah.
right? I would have just preferred for the game not to be there, so I don't get my hopes up.
Yep.
And just release it when it's done.
Yep.
Release it when you feel like you're at 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, this game keeps getting brought, it keeps getting brought back because we do love it. We do want to see if there's progress. But then when you see the updates, it's almost as if they're just kind of like teasing you and being like making fun of you in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that the season's called Lone Wolves it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny if you think about it. It's like they really decided to name this season 2 Lone Wolves. And they should have put like a little subtitle under it, like, for the people who are still playing or something like that.
Kappa
like,
face.
But yeah, Kappa, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
but it sucks, man. Like they were saying here, like, they're gonna announce, a lot more information, and then like on here it
They
says
always
we'll have
say
a lot
that.
more to share. Yeah, they said we'll have a lot more to share about in with season 2, maps, modes, customization options, a narrative content in April as our marketing and promotional campaign kicks in to high gear. That's what they're gonna show us in April, apparently.
They always say they're gonna give more updates. The update is there's more updates coming. Like that. Do you know how annoyed I am by that? The update is there's more updates coming. Hang in there, folks. We'll get you on the next update. And it's like the next update is, well, you just hung in there some more because we're gonna get you on the next update. There's more updates coming. That's this update. And it's just like, I only have so much, like, ability to really trust a company. And I want to say that I have no issues with the developers themselves. The people that are toiling away hard at work, this isn't their fault. This is the fault of the management companies that are making these decisions. They're doing their job, and look, the moment-to-moment gameplay is pretty good. They're doing a good job.
Yeah.
It's the decision-making that says, no, we're going to release this a la carte. We're going to, release an update that's really a slap in the face. I can't imagine how much pressure there was on the people that make these 2 maps and these 2 armor sets to get something.
Sure, yeah.
But
that's very true.
It's so I don't want to, like, look, the maps look fine. They look fine. But there's nothing, like, it's not like, oh my god, right? And the thing, when the game was first shown off, I think now, 2 years ago, and there was that whole uproar because there was that one funny-looking alien guy, Craig, I think his name is, yeah. And everybody was, like, just roasting Halo Infinite and all of that stuff. I wasn't following along because I just, again, I was kind of like, I was apoplectic. It kind of lost me. Like, I had the Master Chief Collection, and I was like, you know what, Halo ended after 4, and I'm fine with that. And it just was just like, whatever. And so I wasn't really following along. I was like half and half. And then they were like, oh, we're delaying it a whole year after the whole Craig fiasco. And now you really think about it. We're 18 months later, right? And we still don't have the full game. What was on the table? What was passable for them? Because they didn't delay it
Yeah.
because according to them it wasn't complete. You can't tell me that that's why they delayed. They delayed it because people saw what they had and was like, what is this shit? What are you bringing me here? And they realized, crap, we're in for a PR nightmare. Let's delay it a year and
Yeah.
a la carte it. And they don't even have a full game. How? Again, I asked the same question. How much did they screw this game up that a simple thing like co-op takes almost 24 months, 18 months at a minimum, because 6 months until the next, it's been 6 months since it released. So that's 18 months since it was supposed to be released. They delayed a year, so it's 18 months, possibly another 6 months until we get it. So you're talking 24 months from when it was supposed to be released that we might get co-op. How badly did they botch the co-op? How badly did they botch this game? And I will end with this. You were very excited for the story. Fletman, I know, was very excited for the story, as was others. You decided to stream the story. And I think you streamed it 3 times. And then stopped. I don't think you've played the story since. To me, that says everything. Like, I'm not expecting much out of the story. I'm going to play it because I made a commitment with Grecki, the person I co-stream Halo with, and other games now on Wednesdays. We made a commitment that the first experience we'll experience it with will be together with each other on stream. So I'm definitely going to do it, but I'm telling you right now, my expectations for this story is through the floor, because while nobody has said anything that was, like, I haven't heard uproar in the negative, I haven't heard anything positive about it. Nobody's told me, like, oh man, spoiler free, but this story's really good. Not one person has said that to me. Now I'm sure somebody might after seeing this, but most people kind of like, I finished the story, and they move on to something else.
Well, the reason why it's like it's crazy how the campaign is technically like especially like on Steam, it counts like as like a DLC, right? Because the main game is the multiplayer, right? And so it almost, I guess, the story wise, when I was playing, it almost felt like a DLC story. But it was more, I stopped playing because I was just kind of like, this would like the way the world worked. I was just like, it would probably be better to play this co-op, because I feel like they kind of had that intention, right? They obviously did, because I mean they're still working on it, but it's like, I don't want to say it's huge, but it's enough to, like, have fun with your friends. And I think that I wanted that more than, because I played, I streamed all the Halos, right? I played all of them and I had fun. I mean, I had a rough time, especially on Legendary. One night, you know what? Let me not remind myself. Actually.
Halo 2 sniper jackals, huh?
Oh my god! But like even with Legendary, even with the memes, I still had fun playing that campaign. Like, I was engaged, and yes, I took breaks because I was like, Legendary's no joke. But I don't want to say, because it was more linear, right? Like the maps and the way that you progress through it. But this one, it's just so big that you almost sometimes don't even end up doing the main missions, because you're just like, kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna go mess around over here. It feels like a playground, if you would say, right?
Yeah.
I that's why I felt like, you know what, I'm just probably gonna wait and play this co-op, because I don't know, I just couldn't get like, immersed like I did in the other previous ones.
And that's the thing. So. That's the thing. That's the thing that I'm just like, I could tell it doesn't pull you in. And this is, I know I'm gonna end up raging at some point, either on stream or on here or somewhere at this game, because I know I'm going to get annoyed, because I could probably already tell they wanted to be like, oh, open world, and it's probably gonna lose that that feeling of Halo. It's not gonna feel like Halo. I haven't played it. I haven't seen it. I've seen accidentally clicking on a stream once or twice, maybe a few rooms here or there. But I haven't seen anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. But I could tell already it's not gonna feel like Halo, and I'm probably gonna just be like meh. My expectations are pretty low for the story. Maybe I'll be surprised. I'm hoping to be surprised if the co-op ever comes out. 343. Maybe I'll be surprised, but who knows? But my expectations for this story are through the floor, and so it's a shame the state that Halo's in. It's a shame the state that the decision makers at 343 have let it get to, because it's not the developers that are toiling away and doing the best work that they can. It's the decision makers who decided, let's follow the flock, because everybody thinks that they're going to be the one to make this shit work when it doesn't work. And, it's not their fault. It's not the developers' fault. It's the decision makers who they just want to sit around in a circle jerk all day and do what everybody else is doing.
Well, look, the way we can see this is, okay, so we talked about, Halo, a beloved franchise, and currently it's not in a good state, but it's very popular. Now I think it would be interesting to talk about maybe games that were overlooked, or maybe a lot of people seem or call it underrated. If you want to start that off, Jay. Or do you need a cool down?
I'll probably let you lead this one off.
Okay.
I'll let
you cool down a bit.
Let my neck vein go down a little bit. Easy there, Todd. Calm down.
Okay, so underrated game, or maybe games that were overlooked, maybe didn't get too much hype, or maybe aren't like as known as other games. There's a lot of them. But for me, there was one game that I enjoyed playing. I played a ton of it. I just liked the way kind of like the world worked, because it wasn't necessarily like it is and it isn't. This is why it probably was like looked as like, oh, it's just another open world game, right? But the way that it worked, it was just completely different, and it was the Mad Max game. I don't know, Mad Max had a style that was just, I don't know, it was just different, right?
Yeah.
The coolest thing is, one, you get to build your own freaking car, all right? Your own freaking badass car. And you can literally customize it the way that you want, add parts. You can even unlock bases for it, right? So like the theme of the car, or unlocked actual vehicles. But the whole thing was building your car, and that was basically it. I mean, there was story to it, right? But that was literally it. It's like, let me make my car and let it be the most badass car out here in the wasteland. And just the way it worked, how you different elements in the game where you would like the currency worked when you had a trade, drinking water to like replenish your health. So it wasn't like necessarily a huge like survival type game, but it had elements of that. And I don't know, the combat was really cool. It reminded me of like the Batman Arkham series, where you do the combos and dodge and counter. It was just a very good game, and I feel personally that a lot of people didn't really either play the game or talk about it as much. And it was one of the games that I enjoyed playing a lot. Once I beat it, I was just kind of like, wow, this was, I'm not, and I won't say it's like the best game out there, right? But it was a game that I appreciated and I enjoyed playing to the end. And there's not, I mean, you know me, I got a terrible curse of never finishing games, but
your community likes reminding you of that.
Yes, definitely, Gamma. I get it, man. I get it. Okay, you don't have to come at me every 5 minutes.
Especially early in the morning.
Or every time a game releases, you'd have to remind me. Oh, another game BB's not gonna finish. Like, I get it, man. But but definitely that game, yeah, it just had a unique style, and if you haven't played it, I definitely recommend that game. I would probably jump back into that game just to see how it is,
Hmm.
how it kind of like aged, if it aged well. But for its time, I don't think it was that long ago. I think maybe 2015, 2014, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there, I believe.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, somewhere around. It was just cool. It was
Hmm.
like you had a small story, right, where
Hmm.
you could go help people and choose kind of like your path, if you would say. But it was mostly about you just going out there collecting your parts for your car and just making it the fastest, the coolest,
Yeah.
car out there. And I enjoyed that game. So I think that one was for me the most one of the most, like, underrated games, or games that wasn't really talked about.
Hmm.
One more, just to be like an honorable mention, would be, and this one just because it kind of got me into the series or the world, because the lore is really really cool.
Yeah.
Was the 40K, the Warhammer 40K Space Marine.
Hmm. Hmm.
This one was, I think this was like a 2010 or 2011 game, and yes, it was janky, right? But it was just so cool one. I love, space games and or anything to do with like other planets and
Yeah.
stuff, right? But that game was so cool where I was just felt like I could take on an entire army of, like, of aliens or bad guys or other factions. Like, I just felt so cool
Yeah.
in that, and like especially with the chunky, like, heavy armor, and
Hmm.
just like having the big step. I just
Yeah.
felt like a different type of Master Chief, if you would say.
Yeah.
um, but I feel like that game didn't get a lot of hype either. But when I first remember, they didn't make a sequel or anything. But I do remember they talking about making either a sequel or a spin-off of that series. So
Hmm.
I'm excited for that. But that game back then, I used to talk about it so much with people, and no one really knew what it was.
Yeah.
And maybe 40K wasn't, I don't know if at the time, I like, excuse me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if 40K was like that huge at the time around
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
2010 or whatever. But it's the first time I was ever introduced to the series and or that world, and I enjoyed it. It was really really cool.
I
But
remember.
yeah, those were cool games, man.
I remember the Mad Max game being on I think it was either What Culture Gaming or Cultaholic, a YouTube channel, as it was like one of the
Mm,
more underrated games or something. They put it on a list, so that's
okay.
kind of where I remember hearing about it. But I've only heard positive things, at least on that list. The Warhammer, the thing with me, I always get Warhammer and WoW confused. So like I always
Mm.
because like it's Warhammer Online and it's World of Warcraft Online. So it's like in passing it's kind of like same thing. So like I never
Yeah.
really was able to get into it as much, but I do remember hearing something about like that universe is very rich. So I would probably take a look at those games. I know Mad Max is. I know what it looks like, but the other one
Hmm.
I have no idea what that game even is. So I would take a look at it.
Yeah.
But for
Yeah,
me,
I would definitely recommend that. It's a really cool game. It's just one of those little games that you play, and it's kind of like those games that you play just to enjoy,
hmm
the world and everything. Yeah.
yeah. So for me, the game it's not as old. It's actually I think it came out in 2018, and funnily enough, I saw it on a
Mhm.
just scrolling through. I think it was like Facebook on my phone or something, or Instagram actually. It was an ad on Instagram that I saw, and it's called Genesis Alpha One, and it's actually it's very simplistic. It's not like this overly complicated game, like to the point where like me, I love story. Like I need a
Yeah.
story for the most part, but
Yeah.
this game doesn't have really a story and I still
Okay.
poured hours and hours on it because what it is you're basically um like I'm sure they give a backstory, but I kind of forgot about it by now. But it's like you're in a spaceship and you get to build your own spaceship pretty much. Any design you like, anything you could think of, and you have like you have to go through space searching for a new home
Okay.
to start a genesis, if you will, of a species. And you start off as a human but you can encounter other life forms. And the way the mechanics work is there's like a scanning station on your ship, and you scan for resources. And the more resources you get, the more you can, say, build onto your ship. And you can build like a habitation, like a green room, like a dome that's like a green room. Yeah. And you can see other species, and you can clone them by splicing their DNA with human DNA, and you have all types of crew. And of course, they'll look like humanoids, but some of them will have like red skin, or some of them will have whatever feature it is from the alien life form that you find, because a lot of the alien life forms you find are hostile. So once you sort of like clone them with humans, they become crewmates and whatever. So, you start building your ship, and each species requires different oxygen. So it's like in that greenhouse that you build, you can't just have O2 plants. You need, carbon plants, and you need plants that release nitrogen, and you can only support X number of species in this atmosphere with these types of plants. So you got to find those plants, and you could assign these crew members to do tasks like you set off like a mining ship, like a little ship that you go out and you land on a planet and you mine things and you bring it back, and you set crew to like take the mine stuff off and process it and store it. And each time you go away, you have the risk of bringing back parasites. And parasites will actually, like, each room has vents underneath it, and parasites will make nests in there, and if they start chewing on like the electrical panels under there, it'll break off a section of the ship, and everybody in that section dies. And right, the game doesn't end until there's no crewmates left. So if you're playing as somebody and that person dies, the next person in line becomes captain of the ship. And so, so it doesn't end until you have no crew left. So you run into other pirates, space pirates, you run into all these types of things, and like there's solar flares, so if you don't have the right type of shielding on your ship, you can't even go into a certain region. It's really simplistic, but complicated at the same time, because like the mechanics, like if you're not paying attention, and like you set up auto turrets places, so when parasites come aboard, most of the auto turrets take them out, and every once in a while you do a check underneath to make sure there's no nest or something didn't get away. But it's really fun, and it's kind of like space Minecraft in a sense, where you're kind of like building and doing resources, but the graphics are pretty good. It's a 2018 game. It's on Steam. It's not bad, actually. I recommended it to Gamma actually recently, and I think he picked it up on sale. I'm
gonna have to check it out. It sounds very interesting.
It's actually pretty fun. Like I found myself surprised with how much entertainment value I got out of it, for just being like, nobody talks. There's there's music. It's like a constant drum. It's like Minecraft. It really is like Minecraft. And I found myself much more entertained by a solo run of that than I thought I could be. And I think it's because it's in space, and it's like I could build any kind of wacky design to my ship. Like I had a ship that looked like it shouldn't be able to fly. It just looked really awkwardly shaped and everything. But you walk through the hallways, like as you see it designed, it's your vision comes to fruition, and it was pretty cool. So yeah, Genesis Alpha 1, I would recommend.
Genesis Alpha 1.
Yeah, I would recommend it. It's a fun kind of just turn the brain off and just sort of, fly around and just do simple tactics kind of simple stuff kind of game. But yeah.
Okay, I definitely I want to check that out actually. That sounds very interesting.
And just honorable mention, as to just throw it back. This is an old game. This is now we're talking. What are we? 2022. We're talking 2005. So we're talking 17 years. I tell you, my eyes. I've played the sequels because it was the 10th game in the series. It's a game series that started on Super Nintendo. The latest one released for PS4. I've played all of them, but none of them hit the way this game hit. And it's Romance of the Three Kingdoms 10. And if you don't know what Romance of the Three Kingdoms is, it's a historical sort of battle sim. It's an RTS, but it takes place during the right after the fall of the Ming Dynasty in China, and during the Three Kingdoms. Yeah, the Three Kingdoms era, where you had the Wu Kingdom, the Wei Kingdom, and the Shu Kingdom, all separate warlord tribes, all fighting for control of China. So the games take place between like 100 AD to about like, or 180 something AD to about like 220 something AD, around there.
Okay.
And in this game you can create yourself and create your own family, and you could create like they had a friendship system, a spousal system, a children's system. So like if you die, your children take over your kingdom. Yeah, and you could set like your children to have grandchildren and so on and so on. Like I did one run where it was, I think, like 3 generations of me and my friends, because like I had some friends that loved the game as well, and we created each other in our games, and we all gave each other like spouses and kids, and it was like the lineage. It was like the grandkids were fighting each other for control of China, and it's just that's something that that game is on Steam, but unfortunately it's only in Chinese, and or Japanese, I think, and I don't read it, so. But that game will hold a special place in my heart. Like, I will hook up a PlayStation 2 just to play it now. That's how much I love that game. So, those were...
Dang, that's... I feel like your games were a lot better than mine. They just sounded a lot... sound cool. I just love when you're... That's the thing, like, about games, is like I love when you're able to get that sense of freedom, right? Where you could just do your own thing, make your own story. Like, I love those types of games. But yeah, I would probably, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to see. Well, I don't know about the 2005 one, but
Genesis Alpha 1. But if you're interested in the Three Kingdoms era of China, Total War did a Three Kingdoms game. Total War 3 Kingdoms is about that era. So unfortunately, I don't think in the total. Yeah. That's why I was really excited for that game. I'm gonna get it at some point. It's on a wish list. But wait,
Total War 3, right? The new one?
It's Total War 3 Kingdoms. Is what it's called.
Oh, Total War 3 Kingdoms.
Yes, it's about the Chinese. It's basically the romance of the Three Kingdoms, but in Total War form.
Okay,
so I'm really excited for that. But I agree with you. I love when games give you the freedom to make your own story. And speaking of making your own story, we have made a long story here at 1 hour and 6 minutes. So I think we should probably land this plane about now.
Yeah.
BB, any closing remarks that you have before we sign off?
I would just, as always, thank you for watching our videos, and if you stick with us till the end, you are an MVP. I hope you enjoyed this episode because it was filled with a lot of great content. But thank you so much. Yeah.
If you made it to the end of this episode, you are a champ. I think you're amazing and you're awesome. But yes, as BB said, I hope you enjoyed this. This is honestly, I hate to even call it a labor of love, because it's not a labor. It's really just love. I love doing this. This is the highlight of my week, when we get to come in here and record this, and hearing people's reactions to it, talking about people almost leaving angry comments on the last episode and all this other stuff. It just makes me feel happy, because I know that for whatever time that you all listen to it or watch it or whatever it is, it provided you with some entertainment. So I appreciate you, and we sincerely both say thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we love you very much. So, for BB, I am Jay. This has been the 6th episode, or the 5th manga, of the BB&J show. We will catch you next time. Stay safe and be well. Until next time.
What up, fam? Thanks for watching.
For more of the BB&J show, click subscribe, click like, and click the bell for notifications when we release new videos.